HJB Construction. If you are calling about a complaint, press 1. If you're calling about demolition, press 2. If you're calling because you saw the truck, press 3. If you're calling about a permit, press 4. If you're calling about repairs, press 5. If you're calling for a rental, press 6. If you're calling about the radioactive sludge leaking at the chemical reservoir, press 7. If you're calling about career opportunities, press 8. If you are calling because you need a friend, press 9. Sorry to hear you have a complaint. No worries though. We're here to listen. Just so you know, we have the best construction company in the remnants of the empire, but maybe, like Hendrick, we just had an off day. Before we can help, I just need to give you your number. Your number is 6. Your number is very important. Please remember your number. You'll need it when you speak with an agent. Don't lose your number. You can request a call back if you don't want to wait on the line. But to be perfectly honest, we probably won't call you back. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Your call is very important to us. Please stay on the line. You've reached automated demolitions. Thanks to ancient tech we found over the years, we have automatically triangulated your location based on a phone trace and have dispatched our new flying sentinel fragments to your location for an efficient aerial teardown. Don't you love technology? Just don't look up. So you were able to make out the number on the truck, huh? That's unfortunate. We told the painter to write it as sloppily as they could. Hopefully, you've got good things to say. Press 1 to leave a positive review. Press 2 to leave a negative review. Press 3 to leave a very negative review. We will pass on your positive sentiments to the driver. We don't get too many of those. Yeah, let's try that again. Guess I can't just give you the runaround as this sounds serious. Please direct any complaints of damage or malpractice to my attorney, Steve, at 7 oh man, I only remember 7. You've reached permits. I'm obligated to inform you that no structure, such as a bunkhouse, hovel, decorative boulder, or quote-unquote temporary hot tub, may exist without imperial authorization. If you're calling because you built first and are now seeking forgiveness, we admire your frontier spirit. Please have ready your parcel number and a brief explanation of why it seems smaller in your head. Press 1 to apply for a permit. Press 2 to cancel a permit. Press 3 to extrajudicially apply. A law-abiding citizen. That's a first. We love to see it. Please complete permit application, Form A, in triplicate. Submit a to-scale macaroni and popsicle stick model of your project and a blueprint. No, it cannot be done in crayon or e-file. And wait half a year to a year while the Imperial Office of Structural Competence decides whether your birdhouse threatens the balance of what remains of the empire. I figured. Nobody has the patience for the Imperial Office of Structural Competence. Unfortunately, due to their lack of technological prowess, there is no e-file option to cancel your permit. It's quite simple, so we're happy to detail the process, but we won't file it for you. First option, you'll want to arrive at the office in Carriston before sunrise on Monday. I recommend bringing a tent. This will get you in by early Wednesday. Once you're in, take the stairs to the bottom floor where they keep the permit applications. It's only a few million stairs, so don't take the elevator, because the last person who did never came back. Once you're down there, you'll have to learn the Tragan fractional system to find your permit, which should only take a few days. Then, crucially, stand in front of your scale model and fill out permit application form Z in triplicate. Your physical presence is what makes this official. Once you're done, overnight mail it to the Kerrison office. Don't use the drop box on your way out, it just feeds the furnace. After that, your permit should be successfully canceled in a few years. Please note, if your permit is approved before you successfully cancel it, you'll be liable for fraud. The second option is really similar to the first. After sneaking past the guard shift around midnight, head down to that there Imperial catacomb and just yank it right off the shelf. Nobody is watching down there. Good luck. Don't get caught. Excellent choice. You must be building something interesting, but I'm not here to judge. Steve and I go way back. He can get you that permit, no problem, but it'll cost you quite a few nanopods. In fact, so many of our clients take this route that we set up a dedicated extension for them. We made it 6 digits, so the Imperial authorities couldn't just guess it. But unfortunately, I can't remember what the full extension is, but I know there's a 5 in it. You've reached repairs. If it's smoking, sinking, making that indescribable rattling sound, we can probably fix it. Press 1 for military repairs. Press 2 for civilian repairs. Oh, my favorite customer. Always happy to do work for the great empire. What'll it be this time? Press 1 for defense repair. Press 2 for road repairs. Press 3 if this is Lieutenant Morgan for secret requests. Why do you guys even bother with this stuff anyway? It doesn't seem to do much in the first place. No complaints from me, though. A paycheck is a paycheck. We'll send a team out and get that fixed in no time at all. Let me guess. It's Highway 9. It's always Highway 9. It's never not Highway 9. We'll send a team out ASAP to repair the cracks left by the heavy tanks. You guys do know it's cheaper to just haul them by train rather than have us repave the road every week, right? But hey, what do I know? I'm just a construction worker who specializes in road maintenance. Hello, Lieutenant. We received your order for a nanopod, a tub of butter, and a toaster. Let us know if you have any other requests. Civilian repairs. Roof leaks, cracked foundations, doors that only open with verbal abuse. We'll send a technician equipped with duct tape, optimism, and a mildly cursed level. You've reached JD Construction Rentals. In stock, we have an excavator, a pickup truck. No pickup trucks. I see you're calling about the chemical reservoir again. My lawyers have advised me to state the following as written. Insert company name here. Hey, wait. Shouldn't this say JB Construction? No, I better stick to the script. Insert company name here is not liable for any damages arising from groundwater that is unusually bubbly, citrus adjacent, or suspiciously similar in color to popular mountainy neon green soft drinks. Our reservoir sealants are the best in the empire, or what is left of it. We stand by. Okay, no. It's those chem troopers, I tell you. They use their horrible Imperial-issued chemical sprays instead of a clean and safe product like Non-Santos round down. Oh, wait. I'm supposed to stay on script. Yeah, we stand by the quality of our products and are not the official cause for any alleged leaks you may or may not be seeing. Because there are no leaks. None whatsoever. Stop saying there's leaks. Press 1 to report a small leak. Press 2 to report a large leak. Yeah, that's normal. Just don't look at it. It's not a problem. But thanks for calling. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye now. That's concerning. Completely normal. But out of an abundance of caution, we'll send a guy out to take a look. When he gets there, give him the number 3, and he'll know what to do. In the meantime, maybe stand back and for completely unrelated reasons, drink imported bottled water for the foreseeable future. But lucky you, since you found it and reported it to us first instead of the press, you can sell your house and move before the news hits and prices crash. Anyway, have a good day. A job in this economy? Well, I suppose we can scrounge something up for you. We're friends after all, right? Press 1 for field work. Press 2 for back office jobs. Outstanding. Fresh air. Honest labor. Mild radiation exposure. No resume required. Just a strong back and a willingness to pretend you didn't see anything glowing. If you can lift, and they told me to emphasize this part as it's important, 2 pounds, and ignore imperial safety memos, you're overqualified. Office work. Let me guess. You checked all the boxes, huh? Tragan University graduate, computer science, internships, personal website, passionate about scalable systems. Oh, well, that right there explains your predicament. Unfortunately, our last software engineer was replaced by a spreadsheet, and a guy, I think his name is Claude, but don't worry, we do have an opening for junior assistant to the regional clipboard. It's unpaid, but it's great exposure, mostly to disappointment. Well, I remember a while ago when I was fixing up a leaky roof on this old scrap house. I'll tell you, this thing had seen some cold winters in its day. She was an old shack. Good bones, though. Anyways, it was monsoon season, and we hadn't rained for a week straight. I remember it coming down so hard my wipers couldn't keep up. The fix was a favor, called in from a nephew's old mining buddy back in Scarborough. I didn't know the fellow very well, but a few Christmases back, I knocked back a little more spiked eggnog than I initially intended and got kind of reckless with the compound bow. Long story short, he left that night with an arrow in his carburetor and IOU to fix anything he could throw at me. No expiration. You could imagine my trepidation about meeting a man whose last impression of me came in a bout of intoxicated property damage. I pulled into his gravel driveway and stepped out of my truck, greeted by the cold embrace of a puddle up to my right kneecap. To add insult to injury, the gentleman wouldn't answer his door, no matter how hard I knocked. Seeing as I was here to fix a roof and not catch a cold, I grabbed my ladder and got to work. Rain wasn't clearing up anytime soon, and I wasn't going to pass through Scarborough for another month, so I decided now was as good a time as ever to patch up the old gal. I'll tell you what, that scrap house sure did live up to its name. Them holes were so big and the rain so heavy, I dropped my lucky wrench and the darn thing fell straight through. I finished the job and returned to his door, keen on reclaiming my ill-fated equipment, which now resided in his domicile. I was out there pounding and yelling over the gales for damn near an hour. After some time, I decided to cut my losses and head home, soaked to the bone and one wrench poorer. The next day, I had the great displeasure of receiving an angry phone call from the shack owner. He started chewing my ear off about how he'd been drowning in his damn kitchen. Now, I'm a man who can handle a spot of criticism to a reasonable extent, but I wasn't overly pleased by his tone and choice of language, especially for a job I was doing on a favor. I thought I may as well pay this punk a visit, so I'd at least have a shot at reuniting with my lucky wrench. So back to Scarborough I drove. I rounded the corner and pulled into his driveway with fire in my eyes. He thinks he can cash in a favor by ignoring my company, insulting my handiwork, and keeping the tools of my trade. I was more than ready to give him a piece of my mind. Stomping through puddles, my work pants already soaked, I pounded on his door with twice the ferocity I had the day before. Only today it looked like he'd grown the manhood to actually open it. For some time, an outside observer would only see the irate ramblings of two fools with something to prove. But after the red had left my eyes, I looked over his shoulder to a peculiar sight. Streams of water filling up buckets on every conceivable surface in his home. At that moment, I whipped around to see my perfectly repaired roof on the house, across the street. Coming to the same realization, the man and I began laughing until we were out of breath. Turns out it was raining so hard I'd forgotten to check the darn house number. Fighting back tears, I asked him, "What are the chances that you lived across the street from a poor sap who also had a banged-up roof?" He said back to me, and I'll never forget this, "Are you kidding? This is Scarborough. They all look like that." We just about dropped to his stoop in stitches. He ended up inviting me inside, and we sipped hooch and swapped stories till the sun came up. The next day, we ended up grabbing my lucky wrench from his neighbor once she was done cleaning the chili off it. The old maid was cooking in her kitchen when it dropped from the ceiling straight into her stock pot. After our ordeal, the old miner became one of my closest friends, and I never passed through Scarborough without paying him a visit. All that's to say, a friend can find you in some of the most unlikely of places. You just can't be afraid to drop a wrench in a pot of chili.
Steve here. Well, you finally made it. You better not be an Imperial. If I ask, you have to tell me. You know that's the law. If you're calling to leave a complaint about the truck, don't worry. I've already got you on my list to disappear. Hang on. I wasn't supposed to say that part out loud. What I meant to say was, we'll get right on making things right. If you're calling about permits, you come to the right place. I can help you out anytime except between March 26th and the 29th. There's some big shop boss coming into town doing something about a strike, or maybe they said a hike. Hell if I know. Shro's the name, I think. They need me to actually wait. You aren't supposed to know any of this. Forgot they paid me to stay quiet on this one. You heard none of this from me. Anyway, leave me a voicemail and let me know when you want to meet at my office. Behind the bakery, in the alley.
The entity formerly known as JB Construction has been dissolved. This number is now under the direct control of Lieutenant Morgan via Imperial Mandate 404. All pending contracts are void. All outstanding bills are to be forwarded to the rebel army. Cease attempts at communication immediately.
Goodbye.